Alright, so here's an update on my training. It's been about a week since I started just working on mobility. I feel a lot better. You know, I mentioned that my knee was giving me some problems because I jumped into the Olympic lifting way too fast. And so that means that I'm not spending as much time on a lot of the intuitive stretching. I've boiled all the stretching and mobilization down to a handful of different stretches and exercises that I've been using. And now I'm getting ready to integrate back into the Olympic movement. So the very first thing I want to do is give a shout out to Kelly Starrett. He's got a book called Supple Leopard. I've been looking at it a lot. It's over here. Chris bought a copy of it for the gym. And also his YouTube channel. You know, we've never met, you know, we have no affiliation with one another, but once I started flipping through the book and went to his YouTube channel, I found I was awoken to a stretch that I completely forgot about that I've been using like a madman twice a day. I use before I train or during the day if I'm not training, and then right before I go to bed. And I feel tremendously different. I mean, it's afforded me all types of brand new movement capacity. So I'm going to show that to you here. What you're going to see today is essentially what I've boiled down the stretches and mobilizations that I need to continue to do before, you know, embarking on this journey of becoming an efficient Olympic lifter. And then after that, you'll get to see me. I'm going back into the gym, starting to do a little bit more weight training. The weight is going to be pretty light, right? But I'm working mostly on the movement. Bear with me also. I'm fasting today, so if I seem a little absent or if my speech is a little mumbled, that's what it's about. But that's, you know, that's what this journal is about. You guys are seeing me at my rawest and realest. So anyway, this stretch here, I want to give props to Kelly Starrett for reminding me of, and I'm going to show it to you here, and then we're just going to get started. So I put on my shoes for this stretch because it's very similar to what I'm going to experience when I go out and actually lift the weights. Now, in case you're wondering, I hold most of these stretches for about 2-3 minutes. Before I go to bed at night, I do this right before I climb into the bed. Before I go to bed at night, I hold it for as long as I can, sometimes 5-10 minutes if possible. And then I literally just crawl right into bed so that the muscle doesn't lose that shape that I'm helping create through the stretches. This stretch here that you're gonna see is one that I've been using for a long time, but it's an essential one. And again, this is one that you hold for like 2-3 minutes as I'm warming up. Me in many different ways. It's to open up the thoracic portion of the spine and loosen up the lats and the shoulders, which are all going to support in that overhead squat or snatch position. So I've been doing this again, it's for years perhaps, but it's one of those staples that I described earlier, so you'll just check that out. Whoa. How's your weekend, man?
Good, good. I'm in Miami.
I know.
Over here.
I like to move around and get different portions of the thoracic with this. I like to move my hands up over the head more, move it out wide. Really feel the muscles in the back relax and release into the foam roller.
You said the affiliate link, you have to send that to me.
Yeah. Just upload it. And then,
You want it up tonight, right?
yeah, anyway, just when I'm in the gym. Here's the other thing. I also try to get the hip extension. So I put it right on my butt. Keep my feet on the floor. That helps the hip flexors. Front of the hips. That's basically that. What I'll do sometimes also is I'll foam roll the feet. I think I have a video in this camera that I might just upload of me foam rolling the feet last week. Foam roll the adductors a little bit to create some more softness in the muscle so it opens up. But really, I did so much of that last week that my muscular system is a lot softer this week, so the stretching alone helps. So that's it. I'll see you in the gym. The flexibility already feels so much better. You know, it's a magnificent thing when the body responds quickly to the stimulus that we provided. So all that deep squat stretching, and also you'll see towards the end of the workout, I'm going to show you some of the corrective strengthening exercises I've been doing, particularly for that right leg, for the knee and the hip on that side, and all of that has been a great support to be able to get into that deep-seated squat position. That's really been the toughest thing for me, is the flexibility and the strength to maintain stability down in that deep squat position. So I'll share some of that stuff with you here once we start wrapping up the rest of the workout. I'm rereading or listening to what has become one of my favorite books. It's called Mastery by Robert Greene, and if you read the first chapter of that book, he talks about the evolution of a master. This is basically someone who has mastered a particular craft. And he talks about all the bumps in the road, all the challenges that the master faces, and all the reasons why most people never achieve mastery. The reason why I'm listening to that over again is because it is a reminder to me of all of the virtues and all the character traits associated with starting something new. If you haven't read the book yet or listened to it, I highly encourage you to get it. Mastery by Robert Greene. But we live in a day and age, and he talks about this, where no one has the patience, the persistence to pursue something, especially from the ground up. You know, in many ways, I mean, I've always been strength training, but in many ways I'm starting from the ground here. It requires humility. It requires patience and persistence. It requires you humble yourself to the traditions of whatever it is, whatever area that you're moving towards. So there's political things to consider, there's language to learn, there's so many different pieces to it, and most people are just not either willing to humble themselves to the craft, to the masters in that craft, or to the patience and persistence that it takes to start from the ground level in anything. And you can really, if you move in the direction of your inclination, he talks about this also in that first chapter, you move in the direction of your inclination, you know, that which your heart is calling you to do, you're 10 times more likely to achieve mastery. Do the thing that works. Like, my inclination is towards strength and lifting. But at the same time, natural ability and inclination is not going to get you to reach mastery. It really requires study. It requires focus. It requires attention. And these are all the things that I have to reinstill, remind myself, and work on as I move in this brand new direction in sports and in my life. And the reason why I share this and all the things I share with you is simply because it's an invitation or just an open window to see what someone else who's on the journey of becoming the strongest version of themselves is doing. So hopefully it's helpful to you also. I never want to come across as a preacher. I know I preach the way I talk, but it's never from a place of, listen to me, I'm Elliott Hulse, you ought to do what I say because I'm right. It's always from a place of, hey, this is what I've discovered, this is where I'm going, take a look, this might help you. So anyway, Mastery, Robert Greene. Definitely get it. It's one of those books that you need to have in your library. And every one of you need a library. That's me preaching right now. You need a fucking library. You need to study. And that book should be at the top of the list. Or one of them at the top of the list. Oh.